Hello, my fellow degenerates and Path of Exile fans. Today, I want to kind of go over the upcoming changes they've said, which are pretty big, as well as perhaps go over some of my thoughts that I've actually collected a little bit since last time. So first, I think I'll want to run through the changes because some of that kind of affects how I've been feeling about a lot of this. But yep, it's all sounding pretty good. So first off, we have. Let me zoom in a bit. First off, we have the checkpoint teleporting, which is going to be real helpful. You just have fast travel between checkpoints, which is going to be super useful, as well as the lower respec costs. Which I didn't think the respec costs were too bad, but if something happened, particularly with nerfs and other drastic changes to skills, or it was hard to make a lot of changes at once if you hadn't already been saving up. Which if your build gets bricked, can't really save up. The one of my complaints is actually going to be the Trial of Sekhmet because I've tried it like 3 or 4 times now and I still haven't got my third ascendancy. I have a couple here lined up, but I'll wait for these changes to come through because I'm playing pretty close quarters. So they reworked our honor damage scales to close range, as well as a important bug making players take far too much damage from damage over time. My last run, I took half my health to an ignite, so I like to see this is happening. I was wondering why the fuck. I was just standing there watching my health mana just disappear, and I was like, oh my god. Yep, now scales down based on distance from enemies, up to 35% less. That's pretty good. I played pretty close range using Blasphemy and Hex Blast, so it's good for me as well. Damage time was dealing thrice as much damage Honor intended, and fixed the bug where Honor resist was only applying to 2/3 that damage. Yeah, so that Ignite should have done this much Honor, and it did about this much Honor to me, so fuck me, I guess. Skitter Golems now use space attacks, no longer use space attacks, just explode. I don't actually know what that is. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll probably see them and be like, oh, thank god. I think I know. They're the little ones next to the Quake Golems. I don't know what are those. Serpent Clan's burrow and ambush attacks now been improved visual telegraphing and cannot be used from as far away. Yeah, so this thing pissed me off because these snakes, they burrow into the ground and then they pop up and do a spin. The actual pop-up had no telegraphing, and that did damage to you even before they did the spin. And so that was absolute pain. And Volcano's created by Rattle Cage now had last observation. That's good. Now, endgame had some survivability issues. Some of that could be attributed to Blood Mage, just dumping my health. Look at that. And when I do my full combo here, it's like, oh well, there's my health gone. It's pretty shit. I have a whole rant about Blood Mage. I've actually thought about it a bit more. I'll go into that in a minute. Maps no longer have additional elemental resistance penalties applied to tier 6 and 11. So this Sorry. This I wasn't sure about. I had heard about it, but Jesus. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I thought that was pretty silly. You already need a lot of resists. You don't need super high resist at low end game. Like I'm getting by with shit fire. For the most part. Luckily, fire stuff is really flashy, so it's really easy to know which stuff I need to avoid. Chaos damage now scales less aggressively over endgame. Yeah, this is big because Chaos mobs just delete me, and Chaos resist is hard to get. So that's good for sure. Crits now deal less bonus damage. I guess that's like random chances of dying will be reduced to suddenly. Baseline monster density. Yep, breaches were hectic. Since changing to Hex Blast, and thanks the only case that Spell Leech has been helpful, more enemies actually helps me out a lot, so that works for me. I can understand lowering it though, because it was crazy. Volatile Crystals, yep, I was clearing them out perfectly and died to Volatile Crystals. It's pretty rough. Public explosive plants created by volatile plants now deal significantly less damage. Yep, that was a complaint from both one of my mates and my brother as well. Those things are way too strong. And then the Siphon's fast charges. Now there's 10 times less fast charges per second. I'm assuming it was draining about 10 per second instead of 1. That should be a lot better. So this should mean less random bursty stuff, easier gear, less getting overwhelmed. remove bursty thing, less bursty thing. Yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Charm modifiers on belts substantially more common and now appear at much lower levels. Of symbolism now appears 23 onwards and inscription 64 onwards. I am not sure which this is, but I'm guessing one is fast generation like this as well. So charm generation. Electrocute is harder to build up. Yeah, Electrocute look really powerful, particularly with the few sources that it exists. Either from Electrocuting Arrow, the support, or the Katoka's current unique gloves that make all your lightning damage contribute. But they remove the damage penalty from the support gem. But now there's an Electrocute cluster between the Ranger and Monk sections. Okay, so is this something that's already in our upcoming patch? So let's see if that's already in. I don't think so. Oh, yep. Yeah, so you build up less Electrocute, but now there's a way to increase that. So that's cool. And then that's... Oh, you already had some anyway there. Wait, you said between Ranger and Monk. Oh, it might be here. Lightning damage, Electrocute pressure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Nope, I'm dumb. There's gonna be a new one. Cool. Yeah, alright. Hunter's Talisman was notable, now grants +1 charm slot with the other stats. Getting the upon leading up to it. Cool, yep. You can have more than 3, so Hunter's Talisman? Come. We got Thicket Warding there. Yeah, me, Oasis. Primal Protection. Am I dumb? Where's Hunter's Talisman? Charm. Oh, there we go. Oh my lord. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it seems kind of pointless if you don't have multiple charms. Alright. And yep, cool. And Skill of Sport Gem. Yep, blah, 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 blah. They had to nerf some busted ones. We can make mistakes. Yep. Improves Rolling Slam and Shield skills. That's good. Shield skills, I like them. They're pretty weak. Rolling Slam feels pretty gross. Replace that immediately on my warrior I've been playing a bit. Bow skills, especially Frenzy. Yep, Frenzy seemed a bit pain to deal with. Now this is cool because I like the bone skills thematically, and it's the kind of the reason I went with Blood Mage, and I haven't committed to an element. I mean, I'm obviously doing Chaos now, but I was using Bone Storm for a while. But you've got like one good damaging bone skill. That's crap. That's crap. Like look at the damage. This is AoE. Does what, 70% more damage than that? This hits up to 20 times very quickly if you use Scatter Shot. Although you can echo this, which is nice. But yeah, that's the only bone skills we have. There's no strong AoE ones. There's one strong single target one. That's it. So that's good to see. Damage over time, I can't really speak to too much, but I do know that damage on this doesn't look exceptional. Contagions, obviously pretty good. But yeah, now Dark Effigy looks like it could do with a buff as well. Its damage is exceptionally low. I get that it fires multiple projectiles, multiple debuffs. Say you have Essence Strain, Contagion, the Decaying Curse, and a Poison or two. You'd get 5 times what is on here. 150 on the top end. Hex Blast, 323 at the top end. And you could do that way easier, no setup, just Blasphemy. Obviously, that's a totem, but yeah, I'd like to see it buff because I was going to try it out. Crossroads heals, especially high tiers. Yep, I know that people are finding the Plasma Blast. All three of these I've basically seen no one use. People like Plasma Blast, a lot of damage, but it takes way too long for how strong it is. I know Shock Burst is considered pretty good, but I've not seen anyone pretty much using much else other than gas grenades and clusters a little bit, Shock Burst, and the other one, Galvanic Shots. But yeah. And what they said, they're upping underachieved bottle stuff abilities. Yeah, cool. Tremor Support Gem being added for multiple aftershocks to damage penalty. That's cool. That's what my brother was literally talking about. He's like, I wish aftershocks were more consistent. Command skills and minions. Yep, command skills and minions are pretty bad, so that's good. And lightning explosion no longer penalize damage. They just have mana cost multiplier. Cool. I mean, that'll make my lightning warp setup stronger. There. Because that applies to the shock ground, which is really powerful. And then we have the nerfs. Skeleton Arsonist, slight decrease. You have like 1 or 2 less instead of like, I think I saw 7 is a pretty good amount to have. And this makes sense because apparently Vine Arrow was scaling ridiculously high. Young Grown got that nerf. Congratulations. Tornado was the same apparently. And Magnetic Salvo no use party members. Yep, I think all these changes are pretty good. The nerfs make sense. Hopefully some of these buffs look pretty good, and the survivability stuff looks really good as well. So that should be pretty nice. Now I'm going to move on to my complaints, which kind of do boil down to the sort of stuff I've been talking about. Endgame, rarely getting burst. Chaos is definitely one of the biggest things, and volatile crystals. There'll still be issues where stuns are a pain. I have not invested in any stun resistance. That's my own fault. I could very easily get this sort of thing here. I've spec'd heavily into crit and a little into chaos. Originally, I was just crit, and I was trying a bunch of different spells, hence why I'm using a bunch of lightning things. And I use Lightning Warp because I can apply the very large shock. It's like 37% I've got it at. And then Mana Tempest just to amp up damage, which I've also got the exposure on Lightning Warp for that. It's just kind of indifferent. I'm not really spec too hard into one damage type, so it's a good damage boost. Problem is I don't have a lot of mana or life sustain. Well, I have life sustain from Vitality Siphon, but that's a whole nother thing. I've got a bunch of recoup for defenses. I'm trying to go more armor than energy shield, just because Energy shield doesn't feel too good unless you heavy invest in it. That and, you know, I'm working with Leech. I'd rather my life do more. There isn't really too much to say here with the build, but Blood Mage has problems. First off, I've heard people saying that they don't like to take Sanguimancy until they can get another node, which I can kind of understand. I leveled through. I don't think I struggled as much as some other people did. It's kind of bad. There's the sheer cost, like I showed you before, with you know, if I do my combo for bosses like this, look, there's my health gone and mana gone. But you know, in that time I need to be dodging attacks and otherwise gonna lose even more health. So I went the Leech. And the Leech in single target does barely anything. In big packs, it's very nice, which is also where this would be doing more. I feel like my Ascendancy is kind of net neutral, maybe slight positive with this. Like there wasn't, compared to literally any other Ascendancy, I could play this same setup as like a Acolyte at Chayula and just pick up some shit, like play a Monk, because I'm here anyway. I've probably done myself a disservice with crit because I went crit for shooting this, but Hex Blast has a 7% base crit chance, which is awful. Thinking when I get my next Ascendancy, I'll spec to this, but then I'm going to lose the Leech and see how bad that is. Blood Mage is a little rough. Also, he's suffering from the lack of good identity skills, which hopefully the Chaos and Bone skill changes that they want to do helps with that. But yeah, it's rough when you have to spend so much life, which the enemies are also hitting you. I get that life remnants can overcap, which is great, but they're not, I guess, consistent and often enough. Let alone the fact because you're spending life, as soon as you overcap, you just spend the life, and then you get hit, it's back down, and the leech doesn't overcap you, so the leech gets partially wasted if you are overcapped on the life. I don't know. I feel like this should let things overcap that aren't just this, and maybe that's a good way of doing it. But either way, it's like you're spending so much life, they should do a split. Actual endgame progression, I've found to be pretty good, pretty fun. It does feel a bit scattered, not really knowing what to aim for, and bricking a couple of maps before you found their content is a bit rough. But I've been focusing on trying to get Breach. However, I have not found any Breach splinters, even though I've got a reasonable amount of catalysts, so I haven't had a chance to hit the domain yet. You can see here I've got all these catalysts, no splinters. But yeah, it's been, the pacing seems okay. It's just a bit weird, and I'm worried about how big this is going to get. Obviously, I haven't pushed anywhere near as high as some other people. I think that's partially due to Blood Mage, but overall, I think some of my major issues are going to be fixed in the patch. I'm going to be away for a few days, and either I'll come back to this character or I'll start going hard on another one. But in fact, if you have any recommendations about which character I should try out next, or something you'd want to see, then let me know, because I'm keen to actually make more content and hopefully start making better content. But yeah, I think that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching, and probably see you guys in the next one. Maybe on the weekend. We'll see. Alright, thank you. Peace out.